Okay, so yeah, because I just have the previous. Because you have to go pictures. It's so big.
Looks like we're live. I think we're on. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to people who are watching online. Glad that you're with us. We're out here on the courtyard of Congregation Beth Emek. Those of you who are on the courtyard, I'm talking to the people online, okay? I'm carrying on two conversations at the same time. So welcome to all of our guests who are online, watching the live stream or with us in Zoom. It's a beautiful evening out here. It's absolutely gorgeous. We couldn't ask for better. I want to focus on a theme this evening, and that theme is love. And it comes up a lot in the prayer book. You'd be surprised just how often love comes up in the prayer book, but for a very special reason about the date on the Hebrew calendar that is today, which I'll come back to later. So let's start off with a love song from the Bible, from the great book of love poetry in the Bible, Song of Songs. The song is Dodi Li. I am my beloved's, and my beloved is mine. So it's in the prayer book on page 11. Those of you who are watching online, you can find our prayer book on our website. Go to our website, bethemek.org, and under virtual resources, you'll see a link to the prayer book, Mishkan Tefillah. Open up to page 11. You may also want to open up the song sheet that's there on our virtual resources, because we'll be doing a few songs from there as well. Dodi li vanilo haroeh bashoshanim Dodi li. That's the chorus. Dodi li vanilo haroeh bashoshanim Dodi li mizotola min hamidbar mizotola min hamidbar vanilo haroeh bashoshanim Dodi li mikuteret mor ulevona Dodi li Dodi li vanilo haroeh bashoshanim Dodi li bashoshanim Dodi li. I don't know, it sounds like the birds are singing along with us. That's what it sounded like to me. Can everybody out here hear me okay? Great. Our Shabbat candles will be lit this evening by Howard Scott and Liz Suffett. Please turn to page 3.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat shalom. Well, I want to share this poem, which from Alden Salavi, which interprets Lachadodi. Lachadodi is that medieval mystic poem of the love between God and the Jewish people, represented by Shabbat, representing God. Shabbat, the closest dimension of God to us, and how we come together on Shabbat. The Jewish people and God were united. So Alden writes as follows. This is called Come, Beloved. If you listen, listen. If you listen, you will hear Shabbat descend from her distant place, gently clearing the air of the steady buzz of the mundane, gently inviting you to stillness, gently preparing the space for the arrival of holiness. If you listen, listen. If you listen, you will hear the arrival of luminous wonder, a radiance of glory that touches your heart, so that love pulses through your veins. The gates of your soul burst open. You run through them, skipping, singing, Maher Ahuv, hurry, beloved. How long since your hands touched mine? How long since your lips brushed these tired eyes? How long since I rested in you? Kiva Moed, for the time has come. The time has come to reunite, and tears of surrender, shimmering with the taste of honey, will pour through you like grace from God's ancient well. If you listen, listen, listen. This is one of my current favorite melodies for Lachadodi, based itself on a love song that maybe is familiar to some of you. Lechadodi likrat kala, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Pnei Shabbat nikavela, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, Likrat Shabbat, לכוון אלך, כי מקור הברכה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, שבת, שבת, שבת שלום, בני שבת נקבלה. שבת, שבת, שבת shalom. We're to read from the second service, the second Friday night service, page 145 for Chatzi Kaddish. I see Dylan, who's going to have his bar mitzvah coming up soon, knows Chatzi Kaddish. Do you want to do it with me, Dylan? Do you feel like singing along with me?
Sure.
Yeah, come on up and join me up here. Come on, we'll do it together. I know I surprised you with that. I didn't expect it. Here, why don't you come over to this side of me, okay? That way I won't hit you with the guitar. All right, we'll do it together. 1, 2, 3. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah v'alma tivrach irutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kariv, Limeru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevorach, Leolam Ulol Me'al Maya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudisha, Brechu, Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran v'alma v'meru. Amen. Page 146. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Please be seated. Let's continue reading together on page 147. Adonai, your majesty is proclaimed by the marvels of earth and sky. Sun, moon, and stars testify to your power and wisdom. Day follows day in endless succession, and the years vanish, but your sovereignty endures. Though all things pass, let not your glory depart from us. Help us to become co-workers with you, and endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. Baruch atah Adonai HaMahari Haravi. The second prayer after Baruch Hu is Ahavat Olam, eternal love. This is a setting for that's not in your prayer book, and those of you watching online can find it on the song sheet on page 3, but you don't have it in the songbook. Sorry, this one's not in the songbook. But it doesn't have many words. It's very easy. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending unending love. Same thing again. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. Open up my heart. I know I am loved. I know I am loved. Open up my heart. I know I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. Open up my heart. I know I am loved. I know I am loved. Open up my heart. I know I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. I am loved. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. We are loved, loved, loved by an unending love. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto L'olam Vaed. This English study for Ve'ahavta is in the songbook on page 35, and those watching online can find it on the song sheet on page 4. Love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. And these words which I command you on this day shall be in your heart, shall be in your heart. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise. Bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be a symbol between your eyes. Write them on the doorposts of your house, and upon your gates, and upon your gates. Teach them faithfully unto your children. Speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise, and when you rise. Page 153. Let's read together. Give us a place to rest, O God. Shelter us in the long, soft evening shadows of your truth. You are true protection and safety. In your presence we find love and acceptance. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Page 154. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם. All right, watch Janet for the clapping. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael and HaShabbat לעשות את השבת. Koratam, thank you. Buried olam. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש וביום השביעי ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. One more time. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. You make a pretty good team, don't you think? Page 155. Please rise as you are able for the Amidah. Lie, 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 lie. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita hilatem. Hebrew. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agita hilatem. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah El HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'zocher chastei avot v'imahot u'mevii gula livnei bneihem leman shemo be'ahava melech ozer u'moshia u'magen Baruch atah Adonai magen Avraham v'ezrat Sarah atah gibor le'olam Adonai mechayeh hakol atah rav lahoshia Morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim berofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar, micha mocha bal gevurot, umido melach, Melech v'mit u'mechayeh u'matzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai mechayeh hakol atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. We continue on page 161. Be gracious, Adonai, our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. O may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Zion. Blessed is Adonai, whose presence renews Zion. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato l'tzion. Let's read responsibly on page 163. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and our hands, we offer praise. For the desire in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For life and nature, harmony and beauty, for the hope of tomorrow, all praise to the source of being. For all these things, O Sovereign, let your name be forever praised and blessed. Together, O God, our Redeemer and Helper, let all who live affirm you and praise your name in truth. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your name is goodness, and you are worthy of thanksgiving. Baruch atah Adonai, hato shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of our world. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamivarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Let's take a moment for silent prayer. You'll see on the top of page 167 a text from Psalm 51. I'm going to sing a setting of this that's in the songbook on page 27. And those of you watching online, if you turn to the song sheet online to page 8, you'll find the same text. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, Great Spirit. Create a pure heart in me, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. this time we ask for healing for members of our congregation and their loved ones who are ill. We want to share their names with one another across two different spaces. One is this physical space here on the courtyard, and the other is the online space that is shared by those participating in the service from home. We may not hear or see the names of all of one another's loved ones, but our prayers are united. Are you praying for healing of body or healing of spirit for a loved one? For those of you on Zoom, please share the names of those for whom you are praying in the chat. And for those of you here on the courtyard, please speak the names of those for whom you are praying out loud as my eyes pass yours.
William Townsley, Debbie Sheila.
O God, in our hearts we name those who are facing illness and pain. We join our prayers with the prayers of all who love them. Give them renewed comfort and courage. Strengthen in them the healing powers you have placed within us all. Guide the hands and hearts of those who are entrusted with their care. May the knowledge of your love and ours give added hope to our dear ones. May they find even greater strength because our prayers are linked with theirs. May you bring healing to all who are afflicted by the pandemic of our time, and may you protect all those who labor on their behalf. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, God, the source of healing. Let us say, Amen. Page 253 for the words of Mishaberach. Avotenu Mekor Habracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu Mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Well, is there a Jewish Valentine's Day? It turns out that there is, though it is not named after St. Valentine, of course, who was, after all, not one of ours. The holiday is known as Tu B'Av, which simply means the 15th day of the month of Av, which just happens to be tonight. You could tell it is the 15th of the month. Is it out? It's back there. But maybe by the end of the service you'll see it. You can tell it's the 15th of the month because it's a full moon. Ow! Full moons always occur on the 15th of the Hebrew month. And that is why a number of Jewish holidays fall on the 15th of the Jewish calendar month. This gives the start of the holiday the maximum amount of light for evening celebrations. And that, of course, means extra time for courtship, or, as we used to call it at summer camp, bush time, meaning the campers seeking some privacy would go hide from the counselors in the bushes.
Yeah, right.
Where does this relatively unknown holiday come from? It's not in the Torah, but it is in the Mishnah. In the Mishnah we read, Rabban Shimon ben Gamliel said, "There were no days as joyous for the Jewish people as the 15th of Av and as Yom Kippur, as on them the daughters of Jerusalem would go out in white clothes, which each woman borrowed from one another." Of course, it is even more striking that the same ritual seems to have been observed on Yom Kippur, which we regard as the most solemn day of the year, but more about that connection in a moment. Why did they borrow clothes? According to Shimon ben Gamliel, quote, "They did this so as not to embarrass one who did not have her own white garments." What a fabulous idea. Some women might not have been as well off as others, but the sense of mutual obligation was such that any young woman was entitled to be seen as herself and not by how affluent her family was. It was truly leveling the playing field of love. So if they went out in white clothes, just what did they do? The Mishnah continues. And the daughters of Jerusalem would go out and dance in the vineyards. And what would they say? "Young man, lift up your eyes and see what you choose for yourself. Do not set your eyes toward beauty, but set your eyes toward a good family." Which is actually quite odd, since what is the point of borrowing the clothes and dancing and flirting with the guys if not to say, "Hey, look at me"? So perhaps what we have is a record of a real festival, a bit like May Day or Sadie Hawkins Day, in which the eligible young women got to be the center of attention. But when Shimon ben Gamliel wrote it down, as accurate as was his description of what actually happened, he nonetheless put this virtuous twist on it. Of course, a man should be more concerned with family and a suitable wife and mother to his children than toward her attractiveness. Since this is described in the Mishnah and is not a retelling of something in the Torah, I think it is reasonable that the event was a real one. And these two occasions were times when it was popular for young women and men to flirt with one another. But why would it then occur also on Yom Kippur? Well, Tu B'Av occurs 6 days after Tisha B'Av, the day of mourning for the destruction of the temple. The afternoons of both Tisha B'Av and Yom Kippur are considered times of forgiveness. Tisha B'Av itself is filled with the bitter language of lamentations, recounting our failures. But following Tisha B'Av, we begin reading haftarot of consolation, prophetic readings that emphasize God's forgiveness. The close of Yom Kippur, too, is understood by the rabbis as a time of joy because of our certainty of God's forgiveness for our failings. Unburdened by all the things we have done wrong, these 2 days leave us with a renewed sense of possibility, of hope, and by extension, the fulfillment that comes with love. This is a nice drash, an interpretation, but it is just as likely that a popular folk holiday existed on the full moon of Av. And the rabbis, rather than discourage it, reinterpreted the holiday's meaning. After all, it is summertime. The day is long, the moon is bright, and there is a lot of extra time to check out one another and maybe get in a little bush time. I think it is beautiful to recognize the earthiness, the humanity, the essential folk nature of Judaism. Dating happens. It never goes out of style. The etiquette may change, but what was true long ago is true for us today. Lots of Jews meet their beshert, their intended, at services, or at a friend's wedding, or at matzah balls. Janet and I met on Yom Kippur, just like the Mishnah says. But that's the way it often happens. The big gatherings on the Jewish calendar are times when single men and women are all together in one place. And as a result, they do what comes naturally. Well, finally, a note. The Mishnah says that they danced in the vineyards. And I think we should capitalize on being located conveniently close to vineyards. So next year, Tu B'Av in Livermore Valley wine country. Let's see, announcements this evening. Janelle, is it you? Yep, okay, thank you.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Janelle Lopez, new membership chair here at Beth Emek. I'd like to thank Rabbi Milder for leading us in worship and all the behind-the-scenes tech menches to help us arrange with the live stream. Friday night services will continue in person through August at 7:30 here in our courtyard. Shabbat Saturday morning services will resume in the sanctuary on Saturday, July 31st, that's next Saturday, led in great part by Alana Sexton. Torah study has moved to Sunday mornings on Zoom at 9 a.m. And all services will continue to be live streamed and on Zoom to ensure accessibility to all. Membership renewal for the 2021-2020 year is underway and online. Please use the link on the recent once around to renew your commitment, get information on tickets for the High Holy Day services, and religious school registration. It's choir time. Beginning yesterday, July 22nd, from 7 to 9, we are gearing up to return for High Holy Day Choir. Please contact Rabbi Milder with interest and more information. On August 11th, from 7 to 8:15, we will meet on Zoom for our interfaith community gathering. The topic is, how does your community provide for those in need of forgiveness? With guest speakers, Rabbi Dr. Lawrence Milder from Congregation Beth Emek and Dr. Abdul Manoum Sambat Jitmut from the Muslim Community Center. Join all our families with young children on August 13th from 5 to 7 p.m. for Shabbat evening park playdate at Ken Mercer Sports Park here in Pleasanton. Bring your Shabbat picnic dinner and schmooze while the kids play. Beth Emek Open House is Sunday, August 15th from 10 to noon here in our building. We invite you to drop by to learn more about worship opportunities and our community educational programs for all ages. Please share whether you are new to the area or just new to Beth Emek. For additional information and all the links to register, please use the Once Around newsletter in your email. Thank you and Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you. We're going to continue now with Aleinu on page 282. We're chanting the Aleinu at the bottom of the page. I invite you to rise as you are able. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latei kidula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, umistachavim umodim, Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You may be seated. We continue on page 287. Let's read together. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace. V'nemar v'Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Before we conclude our worship, we call to mind loved ones with whom we traveled on the path of life. Those who died in recent days and those who died at this season in years past continue to influence us in the choices we make and in the way we show our love and compassion for one another. The company of this holy congregation brings us comfort in this moment of memory. As we recite Kaddish, we sense that we are linked in a common expression of support to all who mourn in our community, together with those who mourn everywhere during these difficult days. This evening, we remember these members of our congregation and their loved ones who have died within the past 30 days. If you are observing Shloshim, I invite you to rise as I recite the name of your loved one. We observe Shloshim for Leslie Rothberg and Michelle Daniels. And we remember those whose yahrzeit occurred during the past week. If you are observing yahrzeit for one of these, I invite you to rise as I recite their name. Maxine Felix, Rebecca Hyams, June Bauman Neal, Bernice Nichols, Sonia Sadoff, Lynn Schmidt, Bennett Scott, Arthur Smith, David Tabak. And we pray together with those who are observing the first year of mourning. If you are observing the first year of mourning, please rise. Zichronam Livracha. May the memories of our loved ones be a blessing. Mourner's Kaddish may be found on page 294. We rise as one congregation, united by memory and compassion. Yit Gadal v'Yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Ba'alma Divrach Chirutei V'Yamlich Malchutei B'Chayechon U'V'Yomechon U'V'Chayei D'Chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala U'V'Zman Kariv V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mivarach Le'alam U'Lalmei Almaya Yitvarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitromam V'Yitnaseh V'Yithadar V'Yitalev V'Yitalal Shemei D'Kudisha B'Richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'olma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Let us say together, Amen. Please be seated. Following our closing song, we're going to join together in a Kiddush and Motzi. So for our closing song, a lovely setting of Adon Olam on page 321. Let's see here. Adon Olam אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא וחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא. ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא, והוא היה והוא הווה והוא יהיה בתפארה, בתפארה. ואין שני להמשילו להגבירה, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, בלא העוז והמשרה. והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי בעת צרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי מנת כוסי ביום אקרא, ביום אקרא. Okay, now you know it. בידו הפקיד רוחי, בעת אישן והעירה, ואם רוחי גביעתי, אדוני לי ולא אירא. Everybody sing ולא אירא. And let's pass out the wine and the juice. The red cups are wine, the white cups are juice, and you could find Kiddush on page 4, 5. What is it? Page, it's one of those. Where is it? Page 5? Page 5 of the prayer book. Thank you. Thank you. Please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו כי מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. L'chaim. L'chaim to all of you online. I hope you have something to share for Kiddush and Motzi. Let's bring that challah around. The challah is fresh from the automat.
This one is homemade.
Oh, it's homemade?
It's
Okay, I
homemade.
take it
I'm
back.
homemade.
Thank you, Tahala. It's all about the individualized presentation. That's the thing. This is a cute one. This is adorable. Look at that. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom.
There's plenty of follow.